everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another Ben 10 Omniverse reaction for you guys. This is Season 2, Episode 6. Of course, we're not know the title until I get into the episode. Last week's episode was very interesting, and I didn't even think about this until it actually occurred. Ben and Malware came face to face again for the first time in present time during the actual events of Omniverse. Of course, the flashbacks, we got to see how Ben and Malware basically fought each other at the very beginning of the show, the very first episode, and then we had a flashback episode dedicated to basically how Malware became to be, and then we got to see in the flashback last week's episode, which was a pretty lengthy flashback, I really enjoyed it, was seeing how Malware became the newer version of him, like in terms of look, like how he looks a little bit different now in the present time. Now we know how, because he absorbs some sort of like really powerful weapon that Max used, thinking that was destroying Malware, like it actually killed him or whatever, got rid of him. It didn't. He absorbed it, and now he's become this new version, like more powerful or whatever. It was all a ploy because they were taking the DNA, of course, for the Omnitrix, and that Kyber, of course, showed up in this whole thing. And we also got to see the giant, like, wood ball thing, whatever, in this, like, in that episode, which was like crazy, but that's why it's called Bellwood, because of the giant wooden ball that's a bell. I don't know, or has a bell in it. Like, it's just like, okay, so that makes sense why the town's called Bellwood. It's like, all right. So overall, it was a fun episode, and seeing Ben truly scared of Malware, like the way he responded, and I went back and watched that scene again. The way he's responding to Malware, like, stay back, I'm warning you. And like the way he's saying, I'm like, Ben is terrified. I'm like, I just noticed that, and I really appreciated that I was able to point that out and go, wow, like I wasn't expecting that, but definitely is interesting. So without further ado, let's get into now. Let's check out, see what episode 6 season 2 is all about and see what happens, guys. So let's get into it. Let's go.
Ravana, bet you're glad to get home, huh, Rook? Being a hero is all about working with my hands.
Is it?
Boom. You will love Ravana at harvest time.
I don't think so.
Rugged terrain. They will welcome you with open arms.
Will they? I think it's fireworks.
Get behind.
Bros in space. Alright, cool.
Behold, the fruit of Ravana.
Okay.
Ogia. We're pretty high up here.
Oh shit. Move.
Rook Shi, Rook Shim, and the eldest, Rook Shar. Big
all
family.
Rook.
Ben 10!
They all know Ben.
Ben 10 is right here on Ravana!
I see you've allowed yourself to come home for harvest, Rook Blanco.
Allowed?
My parents, Rook Da and Rook Brala.
What is he doing?
I believe it is called a bow. I don't think your dad likes me. Relax.
I could tell.
This is not about you. If any of you have a favorite alien, just let me know. You are eating with a back scratcher.
Oh.
I saw Rook Blanco return and I wanted to be the first to... Hello. Accompany me to the Harvest Festival.
Oh.
Do not know the plans of
well?
the house. Muroids?
The rodents. We use their droppings to fertilize the crop.
We're eating dinner. Not even possible.
Every girl in the region used to be after our brother.
To keep the muroids away, not to bring foolish girls to the window, or off-worlders to the supper table.
Oh shit. Oh my god. And they're gone. That was weird.
It stood on 2 legs.
Oh, artwork. That's crazy.
Ben, your show is on tonight.
I have a show?
A show?
Come, Gwevin, my space chimp. We celebrate victory
Space
with a
chimp?
beverage offering.
Go to sleep, young one.
He doesn't want to go, so he wants to listen to the show.
Is there another episode?
Transform into something now? Slap strike? Unitar?
The ones in that show. I, left those in my other Omnitrix.
Oh, nice.
It'll be a lot
Oh.
easier without all that rock in the way.
Oh, yes. The girl who's smitten by him.
That was your girlfriend?
Oh, they're just showing up. Oh, God. Yep.
No! Hurry! Here they come!
Oh, my God. Ben? There's a lot of them. Oh, my God. These are ugly things. Oh. That's interesting. Weapon there.
Easy for you to say.
Get the shit out of him. Get out of here. Focused. Oh, shit. Yeah, good job.
These are farmers, and we have enough pests around. A good first day's work.
Was it really good,
Look at the
though,
size
after
of
all
those
that?
things.
What, they have helmets? What? Why do they have helmets? Wait, something else is going on here.
First they stand on two legs.
This is so weird. What is happening? Oh, they're taking it.
Yeah, you better run.
Oh my god.
The muroids, the harvest, the entire of Anagan
This is
Way
bad.
has been corrupted. And do not bother coming back until you're ready to join this family. And send that outworlder home.
Amber Ogia can feed a space fleet, clothe it, fuel it.
I can
Any
tell.
2-bit
Wait, this dude?
this trick.
Bros, bonding time.
What the hell? Okay.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. Rats are controlling these robots. What is this episode? Seriously. Shock Squatch.
These boots got super good insulation.
Get your ass kicked. There you go. Bowling.
How do you know about Amber Ogia?
Yeah, how?
I know a guy who knows a guy.
Of course you do. Seriously, Ben, you saw that coming.
Tense.
This is so weird. Ain't gonna do nothing. Nope. Oh.
Everyone,
One down.
use your launchers.
Alright, here we go. All out war. Wait, is he leaving? Seriously? He just left?
You brought me here to gloat?
He brought you here to use you as a weapon.
Dense. Where is this fist trick from?
Earth?
Oh, well,
Where you come from?
why is he out there? Okay. Oh, of course, they can also fly too. My god, this episode.
I am serious. I am
Might need to
so
change.
kicking your butt. It took me months to train for that.
Months.
Broke the star beam.
We're gonna destroy a planet right now.
There it is.
There we go. Perfect. Oh.
Who's gonna kick your
Kicking Hawk.
present tense?
Chicken noises.
You're gonna pay for that too.
Is he though? Whoa. Bruh.
Me and blasters are usually a bad mix.
He's gonna fly this ship. Oh, okay. Flying that ship. Okay.
Come back next harvest, son.
Without the human.
But please, keep your friend very, very far from here.
More like the Harvest Queen.
Amber Ogia. That is the fruit that basically does anything and everything. This episode, of course, was focused on Rook and Ben going along for some reason, tagging along, I guess because they're partners, whatever. Back to Rook's home world, where we find out that his entire family is starting, like their name starts with Rook, and then there's some sort of thing afterwards in terms of like their names, but they're all with Rook. And I'm guessing it depends on your family, and that dictates like your first name, and then everything after that in terms of after Rook is your own special way to show the difference between all the kids and whatever. Anyways, so interesting. Of course, they had to make the dad just hate Ben, just angry. And Ben was screwing up and making mistakes and everything, but like he really just disliked Ben like with a passion. Even before he did anything, he was just like, "What is that otherworldly thing doing here? What is that human doing here? What is that?" And, you know, he was just all the things. He was just very angry. And then Ben was making mistakes and more angry. Then we had these, rat armadillo things in this episode, which they had a name for them. Sorry, I don't remember the name. Don't really matter. But they're disgusting. And then people start like, wait, it's walking on two legs. Wait a minute, now they're showing up later with these, like, helmets on. I would never have guessed. If you would have said, try to take a guess of who is on this planet that we've seen as a villain on the show before. Not saying Omniverse, but just in Ben 10 in general. and there's a villain on this planet training these creatures to walk on two legs, and they have helmets. If you would have said, take a guess who it is, I would have never guessed Vistrick or whatever his name is. I think it's Vistrick. I would have never guessed him. I'm like, really? This dude? The bruh guy? This dude is... Okay. Because my thought, at first I'm like, wait a minute. Is this Dr. Animo? But how would he get here exactly? Anyways. So... the whole plan is he heard from a guy, heard from another guy, heard from a guy for this, and this. There's a whole thing throughout the episode in terms of like, I knew a guy, past tense. I knew a guy, past tense, also for him too. I knew a guy who knew a guy about how he found out about this planet and this source of everything that's food and its fuel and all of this stuff. This fruit that's very specific to this planet. How did he find out? And of course, he's built a giant cannon, like weapon ship in the sky, in space. In space. He's just gonna start blowing up planets. Okay. You know what'd be more interesting? Is if this guy was actually gonna be selling it to a villain that's actually taken seriously. Because let's be honest, Vistrick really... You know what he reminds me of in terms of like where I rank him on the scale of villains in the Ben 10 like lore in the Ben 10 history? He reminds me, and on the kind of same level of like the different factions of the Forever Knights. No, not Forever. Yeah. What do they call are they called the Forever Knights? Now I'm forgetting. Is that what they were actually called? No. There's the Forever. There was the Night King, or no, the Forever King. Night King is Game of Thrones. And now I'm getting, but like all those factions after the original run of Ben 10, where it was like really they're taken as a joke, right? This is what Vistrick reminds me of a little bit. And even more so on, oh god, so now I'm forgetting his name too, Volcanus. Because I just don't take Volcanus that seriously anymore, once you realize who he really is. Vistrick is just some random weird guy who knows how to make tech, and clearly, he's like, I've been doing this for months. Like, you've been training these... What? Like, just the circumstance and how this is all, like, who the fuck knows? But okay, he's been training these creatures for months, and he has a giant cannon weapon thing in space, and he's going to use all of this fruit, and he's going to destroy planets. He was going to destroy one right then, and Ben was able to stop it. How Ben was able to figure out all of the controls to move the cannon to avoid a planet, who knows? But Ben figured it out somehow. Of course, at the end of the episode, Rook's dad is like, you know what? We would love you to come back, son. Keep that partner away from here as far as you can. He doesn't want him back. Even though Ben saved the day. Ben, did what he had to. He turned into Kickin' Hawk, for Christ's sake. Beat the shit out of that dude like he was nothing. And Ben was making chicken noises as Kickin' Hawk. That was one of the best parts of the whole episode. I thought it was also fascinating, too, that Rook's youngest sibling, well, I think youngest sibling, but the brother... He was listening to a radio show that was made by Ben. And there's artwork on the wall, too, right? Where Ben was laying, which is kind of interesting. It's like, Ben is like, as an adult with like all these crazy weapons. You're like, the fuck is this? Like, it looks like Ben in an action 80s film where it's like, all these weapons and guns and shit. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, that's what it kind of reminds you a little bit in terms of like Rambo or something like that. Ben is Rambo. But there's a radio show specifically that the brother's listening to that is listing off... Because he listed off aliens that are not actual aliens that Ben turned to, or in terms of like name wise. But they're listening to a thing and there's like a space chimp as a sidekick or whatever. But it's a story, you're kind of like, they're basically taking stories of Ben 10 and making it to a radio show for people to listen to. That's kind of interesting. Because you got the same kind of concept in a sense. I think it was an Ultimate Alien, yes, where Albedo had basically created a live show with other aliens that were the same alien race as Ben, and he was running around pretending to be Ben 10 for a live show, getting paid to look like Ben, because that's the only way he could actually make ends meet and actually be a part of something and not just sit around all day looking like Ben, so he had to find a way to make himself useful in a sense. That was an interesting episode, but in this instance, they're taking stories that have been spread around and they're creating a version of a narrative and making it to something that people can listen to. It's interesting how that is happening, because Ben is very popular in the galaxy throughout, all of these planets. So it's really cool to see that, because we hear about some of this in terms of Ben's fame, but we never really get to see too much of it to a full extent, because normally it's like aliens on Earth who are already on Earth recognize Ben. But in this instance, we're talking about, even though it's, Rook's partner, Rook's brother, who hasn't seen him in a long time, goes, Ben, like he knew Ben, recognized him because of the radio show and the stories. So it's really cool to see that being expanded upon. That's really cool. I gotta say, that's pretty cool. So overall, I think this was a weird episode with Fish Trick or whatever, but it's like, okay, whatever. It's like, the main thing is we got to see Rook's home planet. We got to see his family. The mom really didn't do any real talking at all, and then we got to see his sisters, and then, of course, his young brother were kind of the focus, and of course the dad. But I was like, okay, and then we had all this other weirdness in terms of like the armadillo rat creatures and stuff, and Fish Trick. Okay, whatever. One final note to point out, which Ben was like, I don't even know you anymore at one point. There were women. Now, not one, we're talking at least two in this episode, but apparently all of the women on this planet that are his race wanted to be with him. Wanted to be with Rook. Because you had the one show up and then he waved at her at one point, and they never really went further with that because I guess we had other things you had to focus on. But personally, if you got rid of the Fish Trick stuff and just had these rat armadillo creatures become more of a nuisance without actually being trained and shit, and there's these mech suits and all that shit, and there's a giant cannon thing, they got rid of all of that, and the focus was more on maybe Rook rekindling a potential relationship with the girl who showed up first. That would have been interesting. I'm not really into romance, as you guys may or may not know. I'm not really into romance in any sort of storytelling for like movies, TV, whatever, books, whatever it is. But I understand it's a necessity for a lot of storytelling, and I understand it's just going to happen. But personally, with Rook being as strange as he is for not really understanding Earth, customs and stuff, and he's still learning as he's going along, being Ben's partner, it would have been interesting to see him reconnect with somebody who cared for him and see how, like, even though he's obviously on Earth and everything and being a plumber with Ben and being his partner, but how would have that would have been if he would have tried to reconnect with her, and how it maybe would have went good or bad. Would have been interesting to see that. But unfortunately, we had to focus on Fish Trick for some reason. Anyways, what a weird episode. But I had a good time with it. That's the main thing. At the end of the day, even if it's a weird episode, at least I'm having fun. Because that's really what's most important at the end of the day, is that, hey, I'm having a good time here. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but hey, it is what it is. It's Ben 10 for you. So anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about this episode of Ben 10 Omniverse. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.